I should have said
Do shift up Florence. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry.
Character names people. Hi, welcome to Adventurers Wanted. Just to remind you, this is a relaxed performance, like all of our performances, which means there won't be any loud sudden noises. We have a relaxed attitude to movement and sound from the audience for the benefit of people who would struggle being still or silent for an hour. The light should stay like this. There is a small chance the room's lights will briefly blink off, but that will get fixed within 20 seconds. Sorry, it's a little quirk of the hotel that we're working through right now. And also, if at any point you need to leave, to go to the door, have a breather, you're more than welcome to hop out and then come back in during the hour. That's all from me. I'm going to pass you over now to our Games Master Alex and the players.
Hello! Hello! Yes, I'm Alex, I'm the Games Master for this hour. Welcome to Adventurers Wanted. What are we? Well, we are a tabletop role-playing game. What that means is that each person here has their own unique character. I, as the Games Master, will play the rest of the world. I describe the places, the people, and the things within it. I will tell them the things that happen, and the players will tell me what they'd like to do. Sometimes we will roll dice to determine their success or failure, to see whether they succeed majestically or fail hilariously. The story as it currently stands. Our players are all crew members aboard a naval research vessel known as the Spirit of the Horizon, which on a recent mission was unexpectedly and magically transported to a completely new and unknown world. Now the crew have to figure out how to get home, whether that's by fighting monsters, exploring islands, finding new allies, or by some other means. Most recently, they found themselves engaged in a peacekeeping mission after many days of fighting and battling. They find themselves in a land known as Rorstul, in which an ancient war between two species, the Komodo, small lizard-like people, and the Katafu, taller, thick-skinned, dark-haired, has been raging for a long time, longer than any of them know. They have investigated both of the cities, spoken to the leaders that they're in, and attended a party in disguise as Komodos at the Komodo capital. Most recently, they have been speaking with the leader of the Komodo people, a tall, muscular Komodo woman by the name of, I've already forgotten, so many people in this, Kurus Kazulep, Lady Kurus, who has agreed tentatively to potentially enter into the beginning stages of a negotiation and possible peace with her sworn enemy, the Katafu. She has also warned the players about her sister, another Komodo by the name of Kiza, and suggested that she may be looking to investigate a mysterious area on the battlefield where the maps show something different to what the eye sees. As they left the city, in front of them, whilst they were leaving through the gates and they were having a short conversation, they saw on the other side of the battlefield, close to where the Katafu city sits, a huge explosion. That's where we're going to jump back in. Before we do that, I'm just going to go around the table. I'm going to ask all of the people to introduce themselves, the name of their character, what their character does, and why they are stand out or why they are significant on board the ship.
Hi, my name's Florence, but today I'll be playing Aya, who is a human rogue. She was a stowaway on the captain's ship, but she was forced to come out of hiding, and because of her skills of hiding so much, the captain has now made her chief scout, which she has accepted reluctantly.
Hey, I'm Chaz, and I am Golan Height, the captain of the Spirit of the Horizon. Having been through some stressful days because of his barbaric rage, almost overpowering his senses, he is trying desperately to find a peaceful solution to the current conflict that's engulfing this island.
Hi, my name's Reese, and I'm playing Galbert Twinkletoes, the halfling monk. Once upon a time, I was the cleaner upon the Spirit of the Horizon, but after developing a strong friendship with the captain, he promoted me to quartermaster. And then he met the stowaway, who has an interesting relationship with him. Let's put it that way.
Wonderful. So we jump back in. You're stood on the edge of the wooded glade. In front of you, below your feet and stretching out for maybe 3 kilometers in front of you, you see this desiccated, grey, orange, yellow battlefield. The land itself looks sad and poor and weak. In front of you are small piles of bones. And as you look out across the floor of the battlefield, you see here and there larger piles. Even at this distance, you can see over there are a number of skeletons dotted around. And here, closer by, fresher corpses. However, your attention is very much distracted by this tumultuous explosion that happens in the distance. You see the flash first, and then maybe a second later, you feel the wave as the air slams into you, and the ground beneath your feet itself feels like it sort of part gives way. Everybody roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Ooh, 7.
10.
18, I believe. Give me one moment. Yes.
Golan, you stumble a little bit, but you keep your footing. The rest of you feel the wave hit you. It doesn't affect you, but you know this was big. Roll me an investigation check at advantage. Everyone else, roll me an investigation check.
10.
12.
Are we doing all at advantage?
No,
Or
just
him?
Chaz.
Yeah,
Yeah, 12.
2.
10.
The two of you see that this is an explosion, but know very little about it. As the captain of the ship, you recognize this type of explosion. And it chills you, and it worries you. This explosion is the kind of explosion that is only caused by gunpowder.
Oh no. I'm just going to pick up the pace. I'm not even going to relay that. I'm just going to pick up the pace. Chancy's probably galloping.
I take a moment to look at Galbert. Hey, Twinkly Toes. Shall we go on an
Hello,
adventure?
dear. Of course. Let's go. Captain, what are we doing?
I'm gone, mate.
Yeah.
No, I'm just running, going no.
You make your way through the battlefield, past piles of corpses, fresh and old. It's about 3 kilometers to the other side, so it's a medium run. It takes you a while, and you arrive out of breath. As you come towards the city, you entered into it only a day ago.
Yeah.
It is totally different now. The what had once been kind of short walls and fortified positions and this kind of maze work of short wooden walls and short stone walls has gone completely, and in its place sits this huge crater, maybe 40 or 50 feet deep at its center, probably about 80 feet round. The ground is scorched, and you see off to the sides fallen bodies of the Katafu, these tall, 7 foot tall.
Rem?
Oh no.
At the moment, you don't hear or see anything. You would have to make your way around into
Yeah.
the town and discuss.
I need to get there.
So you head around. Do you go through the thing or around the side of it?
I can go through the thing. Oh
Cool.
wait, actually, can I do a quick perception check? So there's a hole that's been blown into the side of this,
Into the ground itself.
into the ground itself, which then
Like
goes
a
into,
huge mortar shell,
which then dips in and goes.
and then comes back up again. It's quite quite sharp on the edges.
I'll just, can I just keep an eye out to see if that's like been blown as an entryway? Is there anyone hiding about?
Roll me a perception check.
I'm not rolling well today. That is 10.
You don't see any sign of further explosives or anything like that. It's a tough walk. You might have to clamber up the other side of it.
Yeah.
It would probably be quicker to go round.
Okay, I'll go round.
I'm following, by the way.
Yeah.
Cool. As you make
Yeah.
your way round the sides of this crater, you come across more Kotafu. Here they are dotted around, tending to the wounded and collecting the remains of their dead. There is commotion and shouting in the streets. Previously, you may have spotted, although you were engaged, there was standing in the centre of the town is this huge stone statue dedicated to their god. It's lost a bit of a leg in the blast, and it's sort of teetering a little bit now. It's not looking particularly stable. And around and about, people are shouting orders. They're saying, "Man the battlements! No, up onto the thing!"
Who looks in charge?
You look across and you see the man who you had a conversation with, who had shown you to your room the day before, by the name of Rem. Lord Rem.
Rem!
He stalks over to you and he says, "We did not give the Komodo their due. I believe them to be stupid, ignorant, but this... Where did this magic we have never seen before?"
This is not the Komodo. I came in with... there is a letter. They wish to start peace talks.
He goes to start to draw his sword at the moment you say this is not the Kotafu and almost take responsibility. And he's like, "Well, what is this? What has this got to do with you?
I just want everybody... I just want peace. Do you not want peace?
Where is my son?"
I don't know. I've just got here.
Don't know.
"Peace? After this?" And he gestures to this huge hole in the ground. "How can we have peace?"
This is not them. I'll go. I'll fix this. I'll fix this somehow.
He stalks away from you. He doesn't have time to deal with people who are not here immediately to help deal with this thing that has literally just occurred. He stalks off, and he starts issuing orders to other guards around.
Is his son around?
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, for God's sake. That's 11.
You hear from a small house nearby, you hear a strumming sound, which you heard yesterday. You go up to the door. The door opens gently, a crack, and Rom pokes his head out. He still looks a little lizardy.
Yes.
Having taken a potion to hide himself. Yeah. And that's why he's obviously hiding.
Yeah. Rom. Your father's been looking for you. Everyone's panicking.
I can't go out looking like this.
No, I understand. You have to try and stop your father from doing anything stupid. This is not the Komodo. We will fix this.
I struggle to stop my father from doing anything.
There's a chance for peace, Rom.
Peace would be nice. And he sort of looks out the window to be like, I can't deal with this kind of stuff anymore.
Maybe we have to get to the bottom of who did this.
Yes.
Prove that it wasn't them or whatever and get this back on track, I guess.
Yes. Absolutely. Please, once your scales have gone down, you must talk with your father.
I will do my best. It shouldn't be too much longer now. The potion doesn't last that long, but the moment I feel like I'm in a position to do so, I will find my father and we will have a long discussion about this.
Good. What's the name of their god again?
Kataruba.
May Kataruba bless your words.
May Kataruba bless us all.
Sorry, you were going to do something?
Captain, where should we start? I mean this in the nicest possible way, but the only lead we have is in the middle of the battlefield, and I'm not going to pretend I'm a little bit anxious.
I've heard these kinds of explosions before. This is gunpowder. This could be a cannon or something bigger, something I haven't seen a lot of. What we have to do is go in the. We need to head to the battlefield.
Okay.
Who would have a cannon this big?
That's what I'm worried about.
As,
Gonna get tied
back in towards the battlefield.
Yeah.
As you come past the side of the crater again, I'd like everybody to roll me a perception check, please.
18.
14. So that's getting better. Getting better.
22.
Aya and Twinkle Toes, you now spot that around the side of the crater, as well as the debris that's caused by the dirt and the earth that's been thrown into the air, you see small chunks of wood and what appear to be the edges and the ends of charred crates.
Can I look to see if there are any distinguishing symbols on the remainder of the crates? Or...
Roll an investigation check.
Oh, this is something I'm great at.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. 2.
The piece that you pick up is burnt and charred beyond recognition. It seems to be made of like a thin wood, but you don't recognise any specific things on it. If you want to tell the others what you found, they might be able to have a look for you.
Oh, these appear to be It looks like they packed gunpowder into crates, but I don't know where they got it from.
Wait, no, that's not possible. And then can I have a look around the
Yeah,
crates?
roll me an investigation check.
Oh, that's better. 14.
Oh.
Yeah, you go through, and mostly you find charred remains and little pieces and then a bit here, but there's nothing on it. And then eventually, going through the rubble, you find what is basically an almost entirely intact top of a crate. You turn it over, and on it you see a familiar symbol. It's a winged horse with a unicorn horn sticking out of it.
Oh no.
Megacorn.
You recognise this as the masthead of the Spirit of the Horizon, your ship.
You didn't do this, Captain, did you?
No, of course I wouldn't. I would never do something like this. I would like to just crack this thing over my knee so that the sigil is not, like, no one will be able to identify it.
Sure. You break it up into loads of pieces.
So what does this mean? Someone's stolen our ship?
Somebody's stolen gunpowder from our ship.
A large amount.
A large amount. This is not a small operation.
The last time I was here, there were those military religious people who had our ship. Is that still the case?
I don't know. But if somebody can hide on our ship for a matter of weeks, it would be easy for somebody to insert themselves into the crew.
It is a big crew.
You think there's a mole?
Yes.
Where is the ship right now?
It's docked.
It's not past the battlefield, isn't it?
Yes. We came down river.
Yeah, you came. It's quite a long way away. You came to get here. You came up a delta estuary, and the river narrowed, and then you came out into a small lake, and that's the lake that's just to the south of the battlefield. You can, as you look out to the south, you see the lake, and beyond it, you see this sort of winding river heading off towards the horizon. Roll me a perception check.
10.
Yeah, the sun's it's a bit hazy this morning. Clouds are thick, and you can't see beyond. But you're pretty sure that that's the direction in which the ship is. Maybe a mile or two away.
Okay. How long would it take us to get there if we wanted to?
If you wanted to go back there now, it would take probably 2 hours.
Okay.
Heading in the boat downstream.
Can I get Chansey to have a little sniff of the gunpowder residue? It's like, where did they go, Chansey? Where did they come from? Where did they go?
Where did they come from,
Good
Cotton?
night, Joe. Thank you.
Oh.
Chansey sniffs at it and sort of doesn't enjoy the smell. Can't. She takes off and she starts flapping around in a circle, and then she catches something on the wind, and you see her bank and turn and head off towards the edge of one of the other side, about 90 degrees round the crater. And then she drops down into a swoop and lands behind a small wall that's still standing. You make your way around there, and you find a body, a corpse. Roll a medicine check.
12.
Natural 20.
You always roll them on the important ones. This corpse, I mean, this is definitely a corpse.
Yeah.
They are well dead. Burnt, charred, bludgeoned. It's as if their explosion went off. They weren't quite ready for it. They didn't know what they were dealing with. They were burnt and then blown a huge distance away and crashed into the wall, dying. You also notice, as you investigate, that this is a Komodo face. Scaly, female, dusty, sandy-coloured scales. It's not a Komodo that you've seen before.
Can I check in the pockets or anything? Or in? Well, it's probably all charred. I imagine,
It's pretty charred. Roll me an investigation check.
14.
Yeah, you reach inside what's left of the robes. You find a small silver chain on which sits the dragon head symbol that you had seen before. Roll me an insight.
Oh, 19.
It appears to be identical to the one that you saw around the neck of Lady Kazakh.
In that case, I'm going to do one of those things they only do in movies.
Yeah.
The magnetic chain at the back pops open. Yeah. You are pretty certain, although you have no specific reason for knowing this, you're pretty certain that this is Kiza, her sister.
I mean, yeah.
Do
You
we
think,
leave?
you think she got revenge for her son?
Maybe.
Well, I guess that's that job done.
That is no sort of revenge.
To get back to the ship, are we going? Do we go via the battlefield to the ship?
You would have to go back into the battlefield to get to the lake, and then from the lake you could catch the boat that they left moored there.
Okay, that way, because I want to investigate that weird thing, the stone thing in the battlefield, and then go to the ship.
The Mesa.
The Mesa.
Wonderful. So the Mesa is to the north of where you are, and the lake is to the south. So you would have to head through the battlefield towards the north. As you make your way across the battlefield through the bodies, you notice here and there, as you get closer to the Mesa, that whereas around the battlefield in general, the bodies are sort of fallen in positions as if they have been stabbed or slain, as if there has been physical combat between two sides. Here, as you get closer in towards this, you notice that the bodies are in slightly different positions. Many of them are on their back, splayed out. And roll me investigation checks, everybody.
Oh, not as good as the last couple. That's 4.
9.
Aya, you recognise that the way that these corpses are lying and these skeletons are arrayed on the ground implies that they landed heavily, as if coming from a great height.
Oh my.
As you make your way towards the Mesa and you get closer to it, I would like you all to roll an investigation check.
Come on.
Come on, baby.
There we go. 15.
14.
Critical fail, halfling luck. 14.
Captain, with your 15, as you peer towards the Mesa, something about it doesn't feel right. And you see that it's kind of hazy. And as you peer into this orangey, rocky haze, you think you can start to see green and signs of life, And as you peer in deeper and deeper into it, you are pretty certain that this is actually a small glade or forest. Roll an insight check for me.
Oh no, 3.
You have no idea what causes this.
Can I put my hand?
You can put your hand, as you put your hand through the rock, nothing happens.
And we're seeing this.
Yeah,
So he's put his hand through a rock.
he's put his hand
And I've just stuck my head through now.
the rock. Roll me another investigation check, this time at advantage, both of you.
Crit fail.
14.
And then the advantage. 11.
Although you're watching him put his hands in, this is pretty confusing. Like, you've seen magical stuff before, but you're at a loss to explain what may be happening at this point.
Can I just walk
my head
forward?
is now through it.
As you put your head through, you look through and you see in front of you a wide copse, trees, strange trees you don't recognise, trees you have not seen before, either in your previous life or in this area as you have travelled around. Galbert, you were about to...
I was just going to walk through.
Galbert walks up and walks through the illusion and finds himself also stood right on the very edge of this forest. Now that you are within, you reckon that the copse itself is probably about 300 foot across, side to side.
That's pretty big. That's-
Roll me a perception check. Are you still outside?
Come on,
I'm
baby.
still watching. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Oh, that's good for me. That's a 19.
In front of you are these strange trees,
Yes.
and as you look beyond, you see that they continue, and there might be a small mound, and then at the top, just poking above the tree line, you see like a small stone block.
Captain, I think I found something.
What?
There appears to be some form of structure in this area. It could be what's causing this illusion.
Right. Now the question is this illusion here any relation to somebody stealing from my ship?
Well, it still warrants investigation.
I know it does.
I'm getting a bit antsy. They're still not here, so I poke my head through again. Through the thing.
The moment you poke your head through, you see literally just stood on the other side of them is the captain and Galbert and Twinkletoes. You also see what they are seeing.
What the fuck?
Some sort of magical mirage, I assume.
Come on.
How long is it going to take us to get to the stone structure? How far away is it?
About 150 feet through the wood.
Oh, amazing. Right, let's do that then.
Okay.
Shall we? I mean this in the nicest possible way. This is a peace mission, correct?
Yes.
Are we proceeding with gusto or with stealth?
Well, I think times of the urgency, there's a mole on my ship, and I'd quite like to remove his head before the end of the day.
Okay. Well, I guess we're walking forward then.
Although Chief Scout, I think it's best you stay in the shadows.
Yes. I shall skulk behind them, or like around them, while they walk forward.
Okay. In front of you, directly in front of you, you see a small handful of these trees, and then just off to the right in front of you, there's another small handful of them. They're sort of dotted around. They're sort of like a cross between a large bush and a tree, like a trying to think of an equivalent, like a hawthorn in the UK.
Okay.
So they're these thin spines, lots of leaves. They grow quite tall, but they're quite bushy at the base.
Alright.
How would you like to proceed?
Well, I am thinking me and the captain are taking the most direct route.
You walk straight ahead.
Yes.
And what about Aya?
I'm gonna, in the shadows of all the trees and behind the bushes, I'm gonna follow them and keep and watch out to see what else is going on.
How close to the trees do you get?
Pretty close. Like, I'm literally hiding in their shadows, so I imagine, like, right up against them.
As you brush up against one of the trees, the tiny branches along the side of them snap. They're incredibly brittle. And you look down and you see that there is this thick, sticky sap that pours out of the branches, and it attaches itself to your arm.
No. Okay, I try and pull away.
As you pull away, the sap extends out in this long, thin, fine. It doesn't stop being attached to the tree or you.
Okay, short sword.
Oh no.
As you go to snap it with your short sword, all that happens is you end up tying your short sword up in this stick. It is incredibly viscous, incredibly sticky, and yeah,
Okay.
that's where you find
Do we
yourself
see
at the
this?
I don't think we do.
moment. As you guys walk forward, you make it about
That's never a good start to a sentence.
30 feet,
Oh.
and you feel just below your feet, and the ground gives ever so slightly.
Oh no. Can I, as some form of reaction to that, can I throw Chansey up in the air and then throw Galbert so Chansey catches him?
No, sorry. I need you to roll me Constitution saving throws.
Oh,
Oh, good.
great.
Just them two.
Just those two.
17.
I'm going to use my new ability to expend a key point and re-roll a saving throw. Much better. 17.
17 for me as well.
You feel this arcane energy. Can you roll for Chansey?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Chansey.
Natural 19.
You feel this arcane energy course up from your feet through your bodies, and there is this overwhelming sense that you want to lift, but you remain rooted to the floor.
Can I look down at where the sound of the crack came from?
Yeah.
Was it like a Marilyn Monroe moment where, like, did my...
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. So, what I'm trying to ask here is there some sort of pressure pad or something I stepped on?
You look down and you see what looks like a flagstone
Yeah.
that's been covered over with moss and
Right.
branches and things like that. Roll me an investigation check.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
5.
Yeah, it's clear. There's no markings or anything on it. As you clear away the branches and the moss, you see that it's maybe a foot by a foot, and well placed into the ground.
Booby traps.
Oh my. How do you recommend we proceed?
Carefully.
Aya, you find yourself entwined in this thick, sticky sap from the tree.
Is there any, like, pull on it? Can I just kind of keep walking if I want?
You can keep walking, yes. As you walk out, it sort of gets thinner and finer, but it doesn't ever really seem to break. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I have literally 0. Oh, 16!
You don't suffer any negative effects, but you do feel a little woozy. Like the sort of slight sense that you might want to vomit a bit.
Okay.
But you sort of shake it off, and you think not too much of it. You had a pretty heavy night last night. You wonder whether maybe that's something to do with it. And,
She comes in all hours of
you
the
can,
night.
You can keep moving forward. It does. It sort of trails behind you, and you're sort of wrapped up in your short sword, and
Yeah.
you do that thing where you try and clear it off the short sword, but then it's on your short sword and your hand, and then you're sort of trying to wipe it on the ground, and that's not working either. So you end up sort of looking like you're covered in this really fine web, but your movement is not restrained. You can keep moving forward.
Okay. I have a look at over those two, and
They've stepped, and the captain is currently down investigating something on the ground.
okay. I just wait until they move again because my point is that I'm watching their backs.
Can I slowly start moving forward, but just with my eyes on the ground?
Absolutely. As you look ahead towards the building in front of you, you see that there is a thick set of trees.
Yeah.
And it seems to grow in both directions. It's quite large and wide. And so what little pathway there is through here is forcing you to make a decision whether you're going to go left or right.
Could I give it a good eye on both paths? Can I have a...
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, that's good. Unnatural 20.
Both ways look relatively clear. As you look to the left, you see that the tree line is sort of forcing you to go back towards the outside of the trees, whereas the right-hand way tends to sort of head closer off in towards the centre. As you look towards the floor on the left, you do spot what you now see as kind of the familiar trappings of maybe one of these stones that's been covered over. As you look to the right, it's hard to tell.
Damn. But the path to the right is the one heading closest to the structure?
Yes.
Shall we go right, Captain?
I'm on the right, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that.
We should keep...
I think we should go left.
What? What do you mean we should go left?
I'm kidding.
That
That's
path goes a completely different direction.
Okay, let's go right.
I mean, do you actually want to go left?
No.
I'll just keep an eye. Just everyone keep an eye out for traps. Seems to be some sort of magical structure. There's a lot of weird spells here. Yes?
I think I'm a bit stuck. I can move, but I'm gonna have to deal with this at some point.
Well, just cut it with your sword. It doesn't look particularly...
I tried.
Right.
She holds her sword up, and it's just covered in like tiny, fine hairs that all extend back to her body and various different parts.
Can I take a look at this? Like, not touching it, but can I take a look at it? Whatever this substance is.
Roll me a nature check.
Okay.
Come on, buddy.
2. Again.
It looks like sap.
Looks like
It's
sap.
kind of milky white.
It looks like
It
sap.
looks like a cross between spider web and sap.
I go into my backpack and I see if I have any cleaning materials that I've got left over. Spray a bit of water on it.
It's resistant to water. It just
Well,
beads on top of it.
Do I have some sort of...
I don't have any white wine vinegar, so this
I'm
is...
not sure if I have a pack on me in that regards. Would I have a pack with a torch in it?
You should have an adventurer's pack which contains a torch.
Can I light the torch and just...
You can indeed.
And just on the strand that's stretching the furthest away, so I don't get too close. Just see what happens.
It burns a little, but it sort of smoulders slowly. You get the impression that if you wanted to sort of cleanse all of this and burn this off, you would have to stand there and burn it for quite a while. It's not massively flammable. It's kind of more liquidy.
Well,
Just don't touch the trees, guys.
Okay, good note. Right.
good note. Don't touch trees. Barely touch ground.
You make your way forward to the right, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Light stepped, tiptoeing, staring at the ground.
Who's at the front of the party?
I'll
Realistically,
take
no.
the lead.
Realistically, it would
No,
be me.
Captain, it's fine.
No, I insist.
After you, then.
So, Golan, you make your way forward. I need you to roll me a
Come on, make it a dex save.
perception.
Save.
You sort of know what you're looking for now, so I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay, so the first roll was a 16. And the second was a 19.
In front of you on the floor, you spot another one of these flagstones, about 40, 50 feet in front of you.
Yep.
It's almost completely obscured, but you catch a telltale sign of a glimpse of it.
Ah,
In order to get round this one, you will either have to leap over it, or you'll have to get closer to the trees.
how close to the trees?
Close enough to touch them.
Okay, I'm going to jump over this plant.
Roll me a dexterity.
Save?
Athletics or...
Athletics, yeah. Always athletics, come on. Come on. 8.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You land on the... you land on the ground beyond, but it's a little springier than you were expecting. And although you land successfully, you take a short step back.
Oh no.
Your foot touches the flagstone, and you feel the same arcane energy flow up through your feet, bursting out the top. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom? Oh no.
Interesting.
Come on. 7. God damn it. Why are you giggling? That's not a good sound.
Aya and Twinkle Tates.
Yes.
You see the captain leap across. He takes that half step back, and you feel this sort of as the magical energy kicks out of the flagstone in front of you. The captain staggers for a moment, and then his form changes. And instead of the captain standing in front of you, you see the back of this shaggy-haired man-beast, broad back, muscular, big arms, and at the top of his head, these 2 giant horns like a bull.
Do I feel that? Do I look normal to me? What I'm asking is it a genuine polymorph or is it just a...
It's just polymorph. It's not true polymorph. You assume the statistics, including mental ability scores, and are replaced by the statistics of the Minotaur.
Right.
Oh no.
You retain your alignment and your personality.
Right. How much has my intelligence dropped by? Just...
Let me get the adventure that has that in. 1 second. Oh, I'm so glad you stepped on this.
Do I lose all language as well?
Let's find out.
Oh, God.
no.
That would be really bad if that happened.
I don't want to. No. I don't want to kill the captain.
Do I still have all my weapons?
Otherwise, you remain exactly. You were just the captain, wearing everything the captain was wearing, but instead of that, you are now a Minotaur. Or at least you appear to be like a Minotaur, and you become like a Minotaur in most ways. Your strength is now 12, your dex is 13, your con is 12, your intelligence is 7, your wisdom is 10, your charisma is 13.
I've gotten more charismatic. But my intelligence very much halved. He's trapped there.
Just like,
He's trapped there.
Is he able to speak common?
The one that you encountered didn't speak. This one, roll a straight intelligence.
With your new abilities.
Yeah, I was going to say at disadvantage. You're already at disadvantage. Just roll straight intelligence.
Okay, that's a 15. And that's a 13.
Is that including the -2?
No, -2 would be 11.
Or no, it's because you don't have to be at disadvantage. It would have been a 13.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that you can speak, but in monosyllabic words.
Step, floor, trap.
did he hulk out of his clothes a bit?
Yeah, what were you wearing?
I was just wearing my tunic and my
Your
trousers.
tunic is now like in shreds and tatters. Were you wearing a hat?
No, I never wear a hat.
Oh, okay, that's a shame.
How's Chansey reacted to all of this?
Oh, lost his mummy.
Chansey is very surprised and a little alarmed because. Oh no, he hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen a Minotaur before. She takes up into the air and is just sort of flapping around you and like, ah! Like she's not happy.
Chansey, Mama.
She remains flapping above, looking down, kind of confused and a little upset. You may be able to convince her of your position, but not for a while.
I call for if Chansey will come sit with me and.
Everyone roll an Arcana check, apart from the Minotaur.
4.
The Minotaur has a name.
I have no idea what's going on.
Oh. 11.
11. You've heard people talk about this spell. You've hung around on the ship with people like Brina and Caethana and other magic users. You're not entirely certain how long this might last, but you think it could last an hour or two before it would naturally dispel itself.
Twinkle Toes,
Yeah?
I just want you to know, in all honesty, I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Cleaner, jump, we'll catch.
I think it's still the captain.
You can't.
You see the Minotaur just go massive.
The Minotaur cannot activate, use, wield, or otherwise benefit from any of its equipment.
Just these hoop hands.
It's just this sad lowing. Party, what would you like to do?
I'll be honest with you. I'm good at a lot of things. I'm not the smartest. I do think it's the captain, but I don't know.
Okay, what do we think is in this stone structure? Is this worth it to continue?
If it's a tablet piece, then yes.
Tablet.
What you talk?
Tablet. I don't understand. This tablet.
Me right here.
What is this?
When we were in the captain's quarters, the first time we met, do you remember the tablet on the table?
Yeah.
That's what brought us to this world. When we used it, we lost all the magic. We've started to find pieces of a tablet that's very similar, and if we have any chance of getting home, that seems like our best hope.
So we need this tablet to get home.
Yes.
Okay.
Still just flying above your head.
Can I look over to Chansey and give a whistle and see if he'll come over and settle down?
Roll an animal handling check.
Yeah.
Do you have animal handling?
I have a high wisdom. I do not have animal handling. That would be 6.
No.
Nope.
The griffin remains flapping its wings in the air, screeching.
Me hate trap.
Look, if
This worst day.
I think we should proceed forward. And who knows? Maybe Minotaur Captain will grow on us.
Yeah. Maybe he's a bit stronger than before. If that would.
No, I'm not as strong as
really?
Yeah, genuinely, because my strength was 17.
Oh,
But he does
wow.
seem actually a little bit more charming.
Jump over trap, we'll catch.
Can I try and sort of dexterously go around the trap without touching any trees?
Roll me a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage.
Okay. 17.
Ooh.
16.
Hey.
So 16 plus 7 is 23.
Yeah, you manage to. You sort of have to spread your legs either side of the trap itself. As you look down, roll me just a quick investigation check.
Oh, 21.
You look down and you see that as part of the force of the Arcana energy coming out of it, a lot of the trees and bits and stuff that had been masking it have blown away, and you see that this is now a clear. There's nothing engraved on it. There's nothing. Roll me an Arcana check quickly.
12.
You get the sense that this no longer contains any arcane energy.
Okay.
The information that you sort of perceive is that once it's stepped on by someone, it has been used.
This is when we could do with some red shirts. Okay. I sort of.
What do you find?
I tentatively put my toe on the stone.
It depresses ever so slightly, but nothing happens.
Great.
Great.
Twinkle toes. It looks like it's a one-use only thing.
Oh, good.
How tall has the captain gotten? Like, is he the same height, or is he now like 10, 12 foot tall?
He's grown. How high were you? How tall were you before?
I was
super high.
I assume I was slightly above average, maybe 6'2".
Yeah, he's probably about 8 foot tall now. And although he's got less strong, the upper part of his body has got bigger.
Okay.
Super like.
Can I attempt to scale him and stand between his two horns and get a advantage point, if you would?
Do you allow it?
Drop on.
You run along and up onto his back, and you stand and hold onto his two horns on top of his now minotaur-like head. Roll me a perception check with advantage, please.
Oh, 25.
As you look out across the forest and this sort of area, you can see out into the battlefield beyond as well. You reckon that you've made your way possibly about halfway into the forest towards the structure in front of you. From this vantage point, you can see a lot more of the structure, and it does. It's like you've got a top, small stone block. Below that, a very small, maybe 20 foot by 20 foot stone square structure. As you are peering out at this, you see a figure wearing a grey robe scuttle out from between the trees and head in through the doorway into the room in front. And that's where we're going to end this hour.
Oh! No!
Thank you so much for joining us. We are doing this 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. every day for Fringe. We're also live streaming it on twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted and live tweeting the whole thing on @Adventurers250. I'm going to quickly throw to a couple of guys on the table who are also working on other shows at the Fringe.
Yes. I am in a sketch comedy double act. We're called Dirty White Boys. Our show is called Stupid, which is quite a good summation of its content. It's a very fast-paced, two Ronnies, Morecambe and White style sketch show. It is on every day, just the Tonic at the Caves on Cowgate at 9 p.m. Oh, excellent. Yes, PM is what PM looks like. And it's a pay what you want show, which means it's free to get in or £5 to guarantee a seat. But because it's 2 for 1 day, £2.50 to guarantee a seat if you go with somebody. It's a really funny show. There's some flyers on the chair on the corner.
I'm doing two things. So I'm doing Agony Uncles of Science, where we solve people's everyday problems with science. We're real scientists. We are on every day at 9:15 at Barbados on Cowgate, and it's free. And also I'm putting on the Vagina Museum's first ever art exhibition at Woodland Creatures. We're also running two events, a poetry night on the 15th at 6 p.m. and a comedy night on the 22nd at 6 p.m. There are also flyers there.
Cool. Thank you for coming. You're more than welcome to come back, see where the adventure goes. You can also buy player tickets and get your own character, hopefully not turning into minotaurs or all sorts of stuff.
I promise nothing.
We now have a quick turnaround to the next hour, so it's just out the door you came through, and have a lovely day. Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
I was going to ask
It is
what
basically
your
like a
field of
long-running TV show.
study?